will this be your last time in the octagon?
Yeah, I'm seeing that everywhere as well. I don't know where that come from. No, it's not. It hasn't been planned to be my last fight, so you don't need to really worry about that. I think you're going to just take it as it goes from here on, but there's definitely no plans of that. My plans are going out there and, as I told you, not taking too much damage, going out there, really setting a statement, and make it, be really impressive in there, and then maybe get a quick turnaround. I think you've got a couple of other guys as well, like Movzar, Lerone Murphy. They're undefeated and all that, so they're, for the legacy, they look like they might be pretty good as well. So we'll see what happens. This one, do this in Sydney, put on a show, but again, definitely no plans for that.
I hate Paddy, Arman Tsarukyan declared, his voice laced with pure venom, vowing to elbow him all day, all night, and make his face like boosting Justin if their paths ever crossed. This wasn't rivalry, it was visceral animosity. A chilling promise of brutal violence that transcends mere competition, setting the lightweight division ablaze with personal hatred. Tsarukyan's raw hostility leaves no doubt that any future encounter would be fueled by anger rather than sport, escalating the tension to an unprecedented level. He openly rooted for Paddy's downfall, making it clear there was no respect or restraint involved, framing Pimblett as someone he simply cannot tolerate, a sentiment that sent shockwaves through the MMA community and hinted at an explosive confrontation waiting to happen.
Were you kind of surprised that it wasn't Movzar or Murphy?
Well, I called for Movzar straight after the fight. Then I knew he was going to be fighting. Then he pulled out. I knew he was meant to maybe postpone, and then he didn't take it. And I'm like, well, there goes your opportunity. So that wasn't long before I knew that wouldn't happen. That's the thing, man. I feel for him in a sense where I know he definitely deserved. That's why I called for him. But I totally understand how this game works. You can't be that guy. You've got to be the guy that's willing to fight anyone, anywhere, put your hand up.
Paddy Pimblett wasted no time firing back, dismissing Tsarukyan as a spoiled baby whose entire life has been loved because he's got money, and suggesting his privilege left him unprepared for the harsh realities of climbing to the top. Pimblett positioned himself as the fighter who truly understands the value of earning every opportunity, highlighting a stark clash of mentalities between them, a battle of origins playing out before they even step into the cage. He mockingly questioned Tsarukyan's ability to grapple to save his life and observed that nobody gives a fine fretted of Arman Tsarukyan right now, a cutting insult designed to undermine his rival's credibility and expose the deep-seated resentment brewing beneath the surface of the lightweight hierarchy, further intensifying their bitter feud.
It's a business to build Paddy and make him easy fights, but I hope Justin gonna beat his ass, kick his ass, and we're gonna forget about Paddy for all our life. They gave him easier because they know he's gonna lose to Ilya, and the real fighters like me just watching and waiting our time,
Wouldn't you kind of like the opportunity to be the one to do it to him, like to beat Paddy?
Yeah. Oh my God, I would just maul his face on the ground just with my elbows. When I fought with Hooker, I was thinking, what should I do when I was on the top? Should I choke him or I just should elbow him? But with Paddy, I'm not gonna for the choke. I'm gonna just elbow him all day, all night, just make his face bleeding. Justin, if you need the help, let me know. I'll fly to you and help you. I want him to win, that bullshit guy, I hate him. He's such a...
there's a saying that, don't hate the player, hate the game. But you hold it personally against Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, I hate just Paddy. I hate Paddy.
Yeah.
I wish it was Oliveira fighting with Gaethje or someone different, but not Paddy. I hate that guy.
Will you be at the fight? I imagine you'll go to January 24th. Yeah, you think you'll be there?
I don't want to be there because I'm gonna fight with somebody there. Because if I see Paddy, I would like to slap him. Not slap like slapping Ilya, but real Armenian slap. Maybe this is Spanish slap, like when they put on the neck. That's the slap. I'll show him like a real slap.
Amidst this personal war, Pimblett also unleashed a bold challenge towards Justin Gaethje, audaciously declaring his intention to recite the legend, essentially implying he would end Gaethje's storied career at UFC 3. While acknowledging Gaethje's unbelievable status and calling him an absolute legend of the sport, Pimblett confidently positioned himself as the force that could close a significant chapter in Gaethje's journey, adding immense stakes to their upcoming clash. He framed the fight not just as a battle, but as a pivotal moment that could cement his own rise by concluding Gaethje's run at the top, a declaration that immediately grabbed headlines and amplified the anticipation for their high-stakes encounter, making it clear Pimblett isn't just looking for a win, but a career-altering statement.
It's his own fault, lad. It's his own family's fault for letting him be a spoiled little baby his whole life, lad, because he's got money. You know what I mean? He thinks that he can just like pay his way out of anything. Well, nah, lad, you got told you got to work your way back to the title. And beating Dan Hooker, who can't grapple to save his life, doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But it is funny because he's left out in the cold now because Charles is fighting Max and I'm fighting Justin. And like, the next person down the rankings is Dan Hooker, who he's just beat. You know what I mean? He's going to have to rematch Gamrot or something and try and beat Gamrot. Because for now, nobody gives a flying about Arman Tsarukyan. It's not my fault Arman Tsarukyan's an absolute sausage.
It's not,
It's not my fault he can't control his emotions and start headbutting people at weigh-ins and pulling out the night before fights and hitting fans when he's walking out. That's not on me, that's on him. And he knows why he's not fighting for the belt. He needs to.
Adding to the intrigue, Pimblett revealed his unexpected strategy. He's going to stand and strike with Gaethje, directly defying critics who expect him to shoot for a takedown in the opening seconds. People are laughing at me when I'm saying I'm going to stand with him, but I am, he asserted, embracing the challenge of meeting Gaethje head-on in open exchanges. Pimblett presented the matchup as a striking test he welcomes, demonstrating confidence that his MMA striker skill set allows him to engage without hesitation, setting the stage for a fight that promises intensity over safety. This bold proclamation immediately ignited fan debate, with many questioning the wisdom of engaging a knockout artist like Gaethje in his preferred domain, further fueling the narrative of Pimblett's unwavering confidence and unorthodox approach.
Like, Arman should have been way over Gaethje, and I feel like Arman should be way over Paddy, you know, but he does have that hiccup. So what does he do? Does he sit out? Or does he go out there and make his case? Get another one of these top 5 guys, Arman, I say, take their head off, because there's nobody there that could beat him, and keep him moving, brother. Then they can't deny you. You know, I think he has to go out there, just beat somebody else, and not even Dana White could say, no, I'm not giving this guy a title shot. After that, there's no way, you know. And the fight to see in 2026 is Arman versus Ilya. Those are the best guys at 155 pounds right now. Let's see it.
Despite his audacious claims, Pimblett drew a clear line between confidence and recklessness, expressing profound respect for Justin Gaethje's accomplishments. He candidly admitted Gaethje is one of my favorite fighters to watch, treating the matchup with caution and an acute awareness of the danger Gaethje brings, making it clear he has no interest in repeating the mistakes that have abruptly ended other fighters' nights. Pimblett notably refused to resort to belittling nicknames or trash talk, stating, "I'm not gonna make that stupid mistake James Vick did," emphasizing his respect by calling Gaethje a legend lad. This surprising display of reverence tempered his earlier bravado, showcasing a fighter who understands the magnitude of the challenge and respects his opponent's legacy, adding another layer of complexity to their looming showdown.
For Justin Gaethje, this is the final go. This is the final crack of the whip. The man's had 2 title fights in the past, Charles Oliveira to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and now he gets to go up against Paddy Pimblett. Now, talking about the matchup, of course, it is an easier fight for Justin than what it is against Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the greatest of all time. Islam Makhachev, the current pound for pound, and according to many people, a man that is surpassing Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? So in that regard, it is an easier matchup. Will Paddy be able to take him down? Will he dance around the octagon? Yes, he will. Will he try and replicate the game plan of Max Holloway? Of course he will. Who wouldn't try and do that? You aren't going to stand and go toe-to-toe with Justin Gaethje, because the man does have knockout power. But underestimate Paddy at your peril. That's all I'll say about that one, but that is a
Beyond the individual rivalries, Demetrius Johnson openly challenged the UFC's matchmaking philosophy, raising serious concerns about what truly drives title opportunities in the sport. He pointed to an uncomfortable contrast between impressive results inside the cage and the actual chances being handed out, questioning the legitimacy of a system where winning isn't always the clearest path to a title shot. Johnson framed the situation as a broader issue of credibility, suggesting that when merit or momentum are no longer consistently rewarded, reported, it forces fans and fighters alike to question the fairness of the sport, leading to growing frustration among deserving contenders who feel sidelined by organizational choices, eroding the foundation of competitive integrity and sparking wider debate within the MMA community.
Well, I know someone who's not happy, and I'm sure that's Arman Sarukian, right? I'm sure he believes he deserves to be in this fight, and he was saying even after the win, like, didn't take any damage. If they want me to fight in January, that's when he's being asked about Ilya, but I'm sure if they called him to fight either of these guys for an interim belt, he would have done it.
You know, and it's unfortunate too, because we put this burden on these fighters, but it says a lot though. It says a lot about the direction that Paramount wants to go with the UFC, really. It says that, listen, we want guys that are going to bang. And it's an unfair burden that we put on fighters to say, we want you to win, be successful and win it. And you also have to entertain us by putting your neck on the line and taking a lot of chances and taking damage in the process. Because when you got guys like Justin Gaethje, that's what they do, but they're fan favorites. A guy like Arman Sarukian might not be a fan favorite because he's so grappling oriented.
Adding to this frustration, Lerone Murphy expressed deep disappointment after missing out on a featherweight title shot against Alex Volkanovski, an opportunity he firmly believed he had earned. He recalled being very disappointed and disheartened because everything seemed to be going my way, indicating a profound sense of injustice. Murphy's initial belief that he was next in line was shattered, leaving him to grapple with the emotional fallout of a promised chance slipping through his fingers. This setback highlighted the unpredictable nature of high-stakes matchmaking and the personal toll it takes on athletes who dedicate their lives to earning these coveted opportunities, revealing the raw emotional cost of being overlooked in a highly competitive and often opaque system.
Kind of telling of where the direction of where they want the UFC to go, because they're trying to get eyeballs, man. Without eyeballs, the sport goes nowhere. So for Arman Sarukian, he might have to sit out for a little bit, but you know, he definitely deserves it and his time is coming. It's just, I think right now Paramount and the UFC is kind of establishing that, you know, we're going to want some entertainers in there, and if you're not entertaining us, if entertainment is not a part of your priority, then that might be an issue.
Despite the setback, Murphy quickly shifted his focus, approaching the disappointment with reflection rather than prolonged frustration. He shared his evolving perspective, working with a performance coach to forgetting about the bad and just focusing on what's next, emphasizing mental discipline and self-improvement. Murphy even began envisioning new scenarios, like potentially headlining a UK card or seeing Volkanovski retire, which could open up a title fight for him, demonstrating resilience and a forward-thinking mindset. This ability to pivot from disheartened disappointment to proactive perspective showcases a fighter determined to control his narrative and prepare for whatever comes next, transforming a perceived loss into a strategic advantage for future opportunities, illustrating a mature approach to career management. Meanwhile, Alex Volkanovski made his own position crystal clear: retirement is definitively not on his mind, directly addressing persistent rumors and reassuring fans of his commitment to the sport. He emphasized his focus on taking on top contenders like Lerone Murphy and Mavzar Evlav, framing these matchups as crucial opportunities to strengthen his legacy while testing himself against high-level competition. Volkanovski's unwavering dedication to challenging fights that matter in the division underscores his status as a champion who prioritizes competitive integrity, dispelling any notions of him stepping away soon. His declaration reaffirms his commitment to the featherweight throne, signaling to all contenders that he intends to remain a formidable presence, ready to face anyone who dares challenge his reign at the top. Volkanovski further shared his genuine empathy for Mavzar Evlav, recognizing the profound impact of Evlav's missed title opportunity, which stemmed from an injury withdrawal. He recalled immediately advocating for Evlav after his impressive performance, knowing he had truly deserved that shot, expressing palpable disappointment that the withdrawal cost him such a significant chance. Volkanovski framed it as a lost opportunity for a fighter who had earned the right to compete at the highest level, highlighting the brutal reality that circumstances outside the cage can derail even the most deserving contenders. This personal understanding from a champion underscored the precarious nature of a fighter's career, where one unforeseen event can drastically alter a trajectory, making Evlav's missed shot even more poignant. However, Volkanovski also laid down a challenge for both Mavzar Evlav and Lerone Murphy, explaining that their next steps depend on whether they take on other opponents or face each other to prove themselves. He assured them that they won't be still opportunities when the time comes, making it clear they haven't lost their shot entirely, but issued a subtle warning that waiting too long could slow momentum for everyone involved. This directive puts the onus on the contenders to stay active and demonstrate their readiness, echoing the sentiment that in the UFC, consistent performance and willingness to fight are paramount. It's a strategic move to keep the division moving, ensuring only the most committed and battle-tested emerge to challenge for the belt. Islam Makhachev openly voiced his frustration with the UFC's matchmaking, particularly questioning the logic behind decisions that seem to bypass clear contenders. He pointed out the ironic situation where a fight between Gaethje and Pimblett could potentially earn a title shot, while Arman Tsarukyan, who arguably deserves it more, faces a long and perplexing wait. Makhachev framed the situation as a puzzling detour in the division, highlighting how timing and organizational choices can leave deserving fighters sidelined despite their readiness and recent performances. This criticism from a reigning champion added significant weight to the growing chorus of voices questioning the fairness and consistency of the UFC's path to championship glory, further stirring the pot in the already contentious lightweight landscape. Echoing Makhachev's sentiments, Jorge Masvidal threw his staunch support behind Arman Tsarukyan, insisting that the fighter is being unjustly overlooked despite firmly belonging among the division's elite. Masvidal passionately highlighted Arman's undeniable talent and consistency, urging him to keep him moving, brother, and take their head off of other top-level competition to make his place undeniable. He positioned Tsarukyan as a pivotal figure in the lightweight landscape, someone whose future could fundamentally shape the division if he were only given the opportunities he truly deserves. Masvidal's powerful endorsement underscored the belief that Arman's merit is being unfairly ignored, adding a significant veteran voice to the ongoing debate about who truly deserves the next title shot. Meanwhile, Michael Bisping framed the upcoming Gaethje vs. Pimblett fight as one of Justin Gaethje's final cracks of the whip for a defining victory, noting his previous title bouts against Oliveira and Makhachev. Bisping emphasized that while Paddy Pimblett may appear less threatening on paper, he remains a dangerous opponent capable of testing Gaethje with his movement and striking. He highlighted the compelling clash of styles and the ever-present threat of Gaethje's knockout power, calling the matchup phenomenal and one that fans should absolutely not underestimate. This analysis from a seasoned commentator added gravity to the fight, underscoring its significance for both fighters and reinforcing its must-watch appeal for the entire MMA audience. Chuck Liddell, another legendary figure, shared his intriguing take on the clash, suggesting that Pimblett might not be fully prepared for the challenge that Gaethje presents. While admitting he doesn't follow that too much like that politics, Liddell found the matchup fascinating, respecting both fighters. However, he hinted at a preference, stating, "I'd like to see Gaethje go along," indicating he would enjoy seeing Gaethje secure a decisive finish. Liddell's nuanced perspective, combining admiration for both athletes with a clear prediction for the outcome, added another layer of anticipation for fans, framing the fight as a true test of Pimblett's readiness against a seasoned, destructive force, and further fueling speculation about how the bout will ultimately unfold. Urijav Faber also openly put his support behind Justin Gaethje, praising his unparalleled appetite for high-intensity, striking-heavy fights. Faber pointed out that Gaethje's Division I wrestling gives him the crucial tools to kind of negate some of the biggest skill sets of Paddy, while simultaneously acknowledging Pimblett's formidable submission skills on the ground. He framed the matchup as a classic clash of styles, with Gaethje's raw power and wrestling prowess standing as the key factors that could give him the decisive edge. Faber's analysis provided a clear strategic breakdown, highlighting Gaethje's well-rounded threat and underscoring why many seasoned observers believe his unique blend of skills will be pivotal in controlling the tempo and outcome of the highly anticipated fight. Den Thomas critically observed that Paramount's influence on the UFC is increasingly shaping which fighters get opportunities, often favoring those who inherently draw significant fan attention. He explained that athletes are now expected not only to win, but also to consistently deliver high-risk, unequivocally entertaining performances, placing an unfair burden on their careers. Thomas noted that technically skilled grapplers like Arman Tsarukyan tend to be overlooked compared to crowd pullers like Justin Gaethje, even when Arman is demonstrably ready and willing to step up for a title shot if given the chance. This candid insight exposed the commercial pressures influencing matchmaking, suggesting that pure athletic merit is sometimes secondary to entertainment value, creating a complex dilemma for aspiring champions. Thomas elaborated further, highlighting how Paramount's directives steer the UFC toward fighters who can generate maximum viewership and buzz, emphasizing that without eyeballs, the sport goes nowhere. He acknowledged that while Arman Tsarukyan definitely deserves it, and his time is coming, the organization currently prioritizes athletes who deliver high-octane, fan-pleasing spectacles. Thomas framed this as a significant challenge for fighters who focus on technical skill over showmanship, exposing how the business side of the UFC dramatically impacts opportunities inside the cage. This perspective underscored the evolving landscape of professional fighting, where marketability and entertainment value are becoming as crucial as fighting prowess for career advancement and securing those coveted title shots. Matt Brown bluntly criticized the decision to hand Paddy Pimblett an interim title shot over Arman Tsarukyan, calling it a frustrating decision that exemplifies the pervasive influence a single promoter can wield over titles and rankings. He framed it as a troubling instance of a monopoly, undermining the sport's integrity, suggesting such control is not a good thing for the sport. In Brown's view, Arman clearly and unequivocally deserved the opportunity based on merit, making Pimblett's selection a disheartening sign that popularity is trumping performance. His strong condemnation highlighted a deep-seated concern among fighters and fans about the fairness of the matchmaking process, igniting a fiery debate about the power dynamics at play within the highest echelons of MMA. Brown continued his critique, warning that prioritizing short-term hype and pay-per-view appeal over genuine merit could severely hurt the longevity of the sport over time. He argued that while flashy matchups create immediate buzz and sell the next pay-per-view, long-term success fundamentally depends on consistently rewarding achievement and building a system that respects fighters' accomplishments rather than merely chasing fleeting trends. Brown's concerns highlighted a critical tension within the UFC, the balance between immediate commercial success and the enduring credibility of a combat sport. His perspective challenged the prevailing narrative, prompting a broader discussion about the foundational values that define true athletic competition and what it means for the sport's future. Ultimately, Brown articulated the core issue as a fundamental clash between entertainment and competition, pointing out that elite fighters like Arman Tsarukyan and Movsar Evloev don't want to have to go out there and put on some ridiculous show to become a champion. They aspire to earn their title shots through sheer skill and performance, not Instagram and start a podcast and make skits on social media. He warned that when the sport prioritizes spectacle over merit, it risks undermining its credibility and the intrinsic value of true athletic achievement in the long term. This sharp distinction underscored the growing divide between legitimate athletes seeking pure sporting glory and the demands of a promotion increasingly leaning into the realm of pure entertainment, leaving the future of martial arts integrity hanging in the balance. Interestingly, the transcript initially draws a compelling parallel between Paddy Pimblett and the meteoric rise of the next Conor McGregor star, specifically highlighting his whole lot of watching weird personality and disarming demeanor. This comparison points to Pimblett's unique appeal, a fighter who seems silly with his dancing and flopping hair, yet undeniably capable of fucking people up. This narrative of an unconventional, charismatic force suggests Pimblett's star power goes beyond mere fighting skill, tapping into a broader entertainment appeal reminiscent of McGregor's early career. The idea that his personality, rather than just his record, could propel him to similar heights is a powerful observation, indicating the UFC's potential long-term vision for the polarizing Liverpudlian. The lightweight division now stands at a dramatic crossroads, with its future hanging precariously between athletic merit and the undeniable pull of entertainment. The fiery animosity between Arman Tsarukyan and Paddy Pimblett, coupled with the debate over title legitimacy, underscores a pivotal moment where the UFC must decide its path. Will it consistently reward deserving contenders, or continue to prioritize marketable personalities and high-octane spectacle? This tension defines the current landscape, leaving fighters, fans, and pundits alike to ponder whether the integrity of the sport can coexist with the ever-growing demands of mainstream appeal, shaping not just individual careers but the very essence of MMA as we know it.